What is weaving? Weaving is basically the process used to combine the warp and the weft to make some kind of woven structure. That sounds a little bit confusing. You can make weavings out of pretty much anything. You can make a weaving out of paper, string, fabric. You could even use things like wood or plastic to make a weaving. Most cloth that you wear, most of your clothes, are actually really tight weavings. Take a close look at what you're wearing. Can you see how the strings are kind of woven together? Maybe you can actually see the weft, the strings that go across in your clothes. All weavings are created on a loom of some kind. You can have very simple looms made out of a piece of cardboard. They can be a little more complicated by having a wooden frame. Or there are some pretty big complex looms, kind of like the ones you see here. These would be the kinds of looms used to create pieces of fabric. Today we're going to start on the very first part of your weaving, and that part is to create your loom. Today you will need a long piece of black yarn and a piece of cardboard. You'll notice your cardboard has little notches already cut in it. Now you can use any cardboard for this. You can use an old cereal box, pasta box, whatever. I just had some cardboard in my classroom that I've cut up for you. I'm going to start by taking a piece of yarn and I'm going to put it through the first notch. And you'll notice I have a tail left on one side that's maybe about as long as your hand. We don't want it too short or it could come through. I'm going to pull that yarn straight down, the long side of the yarn I'm pulling, and I'm going to put it between the next two notches. I almost think of it kind of like flossing teeth. You're putting that piece of yarn right in between. As I pull the yarn down, I want to make sure it's nice and straight. I don't want it really floppy and wiggly, but I also don't want to pull so hard that it makes my piece of cardboard begin to bend. Try to keep it nice and flat. Work your way back and forth, up and down the cardboard, always putting your yarn into a different notch. When you're finished, you'll notice on one side you have 6 pieces of yarn that go straight up and down. On the other side, you'll have 5 pieces that look like they're tilting slightly to one side. Is this how your loom looks? If it does, you're all ready for the next step. If not, you might want to rewatch the video and give it a second try.